Hey, imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and everything you've ever desired just appears, seemingly without any effort. How is this possible? With something called the divine quantum code. This isn't just another buzzword. It's an ancient tool, blended with cutting-edge modern science designed to help you manifest anything you want in your life. In this series, we're going to explore a revolutionary idea. What if reality is a massive quantum supercomputer and you are the programmer? Mastering this concept can change everything. Think about quantum physics for a moment. It tells us that tiny particles can exist in multiple states at once, like a ghost in several places simultaneously, until they are observed. Scientific studies like the famous double-slit experiment demonstrate this observer effect. The very act of measuring or observing a particle changes its behavior. It's not magic, it's a fundamental principle of how our physical world works. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Critics often dismiss these ideas as pseudoscience, arguing there's no direct, hard evidence that our consciousness can alter physical matter on a large scale. But the story doesn't end there. A growing body of indirect evidence is emerging, especially from fascinating theories like quantum consciousness. Pioneers like Sir Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff proposed the Orch OR theory. It suggests that tiny structures inside our brain cells called microtubules process quantum information. This could be the very mechanism that allows us to have genuine free will, making decisions that go beyond simple, predictable algorithms. Let's look at the data. In 2022, groundbreaking tests showed quantum-level vibrations occurring within these microtubules. What's even more fascinating is that when patients were under anesthesia, a state where consciousness is inhibited, these vibrations disappeared. This supports the idea that our minds are deeply connected to the quantum processes happening within our own brains, influencing reality at its most fundamental level. The research is moving fast. Updates in 2025 confirmed these quantum vibrations in active neurons and even found evidence of quantum entanglement, that spooky connection between particles within biological structures. Of course, the debate isn't settled. Critics point to challenges like decoherence, arguing that the warm, wet environment of the brain would disrupt any delicate quantum state. Yet the Orch OR theory continues to evolve, with new evidence of large-scale quantum states being observed in MRI scans directly related to human consciousness. But a word of caution is necessary here. We must be aware of confirmation bias. It's easy to see only what we want to see, especially when exploring the intersection of science and spirituality. We need to stay grounded and objective. Now, let's get to the basics of how this all works. Think of reality as an operating system. This idea is inspired by the simulation hypothesis, famously put forward by philosopher Nick Bostrom. He argues that if a post-human civilization were to exist, it's highly probable they would run ancestor simulations, much like we create complex video games. The odds, he suggests, are that we are living in one of those simulations right now. The debate around this intensified in 2025 with the rise of superintelligent AI. Bostrom himself warns that artificial intelligence is advancing so rapidly that it could soon create simulated realities indistinguishable from our own, perhaps without us even knowing. But if we are in a simulation, that implies something incredible. We can learn to hack the code, we can influence the program. How? By using focused intentions and powerful phrases. Affirmations like, "My reality creates worlds," or "I am the architect of my experience," aren't just empty words. When you repeat them and truly feel them as if they are already your reality, you are sending new instructions to the system. Scientific studies on visualization back this up. Research by psychologist Albert Bandura in 1997 showed how athletes who mentally rehearsed their performance saw significant increases in self-efficacy and actual results. Of course, the popular law of attraction has its critics. They say it's pseudoscience because its effects haven't been reliably replicated in controlled lab tests. But what if the secret isn't choosing between science or spirituality, but integrating them? By combining the disciplined focus of scientific inquiry with the deep wisdom of spiritual practice, we can achieve real, tangible results. Let's get curious and look back in time. Ancient Vedic texts from India describe reality as Maya, a divine illusion or a cosmic play, which sounds remarkably similar to a simulation. Consider the ancient Egyptians. They built the Great Pyramids, aligning them with incredible precision to celestial bodies. Were they just building tombs, or were they trying to access powerful energy fields? The mystery of how they achieved such architectural feats without modern technology continues to baffle us. A new field called quantum archaeology is shedding light on this. By using advanced sensors to detect ancient energy fields at megalithic sites, researchers are uncovering patterns that echo quantum principles, like entanglement, seemingly encoded within the stone structures themselves. It's as if these ancient builders understood something about the fabric of reality that we are only now rediscovering. Here's another fascinating connection. The ancient Gnostics, in their mystical teachings, spoke of a dual creation, one of spirit and one of matter. They predicted concepts that sound eerily like modern quantum physics. In his 2023 book, author Canova powerfully links Gnostic wisdom to quantum theory, suggesting that they held a lost knowledge about consciousness being the true creator of our world. Building on this, quantum physicist R.K. Vimal proposed a comprehensive theory of quantum consciousness in 2025. He bases it on the idea that our minds evolve from the quantum information present in the zero-point field, the vacuum's minimum energy state, which he describes as the supreme consciousness. Vimal's studies show this field isn't empty space. It's a vibrant, energetic source from which both matter and consciousness emerge. This beautifully unites ancient spiritual insights with modern scientific understanding. So let me ask you a question. If you could program your reality, what is the very first thing you would want to manifest? Take a moment, think about it, and share your desire in the comments below. Let's start this journey together. Coming up next, we will dive into the 7 practical pillars of the Divine Quantum Code. These are the concrete steps you can take to start hacking your reality today. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to the Creative Mind Journey channel. Today, we're diving deep into part 2 of our series, Hack the Reality Matrix, where we explore the divine quantum code to manifest your dreams right now. If you're ready to shatter old beliefs and unlock the first pillar of reality, you're in the right place. We're about to explore the heresy of creation, the idea that reality is not what it seems, but a quantum mirror reflecting your inner world. So what is this first pillar, the heresy of creation? It's the radical idea that you are not just a passive observer in the universe, you are an active participant in its creation. This challenges everything we've been taught. It proposes that the world around you is a direct reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions. How is this possible? The answer lies in a fascinating corner of theoretical physics, the holographic principle. First proposed by the brilliant physicist Gerard 't Hooft in 1993, the holographic principle suggests that all the information contained in a volume of space, like our three-dimensional universe, can be encoded on a two-dimensional surface at its boundary. Think of it like a hologram. A 3D image is projected from a flat 2D film. This theory suggests our universe might operate in the same way. What we perceive as a vast 3D reality could be a projection from a distant 2D informational surface. Now, this isn't just a wild idea. There's some compelling, though indirect, evidence. One of the most significant breakthroughs came in 1997 with the ADES-CFT correspondence formulated by Juan Maldacena. This discovery created a stunning link between two seemingly different types of theories. On one side, a theory of quantum gravity in a specific type of spacetime called anti-de Sitter space, or ADS. On the other, a quantum field theory without gravity, known as a conformal field theory, or CFT, which lives on the boundary of that space. Maldacena showed these two theories are mathematically equivalent, a duality. It's like having two different languages that describe the exact same reality. This was revolutionary because it offered a way to study quantum gravity, one of the biggest mysteries in physics, by using the simpler tools of quantum field theory. In 2016, Maldacena and his colleagues expanded on this, providing further insights into how it might apply to our understanding of quantum gravity. However, it's crucial to acknowledge the debate. The holographic principle has not been directly tested in a lab. Critics argue it's highly speculative and hasn't fully solved long-standing problems like the black hole information paradox. Despite this, physicist Raphael Bousso, in his 2002 review, argued that the principle has laid a strong foundation for future research in quantum gravity, solidifying its importance in modern physics. So, what does this have to do with you? If our universe is a holographic projection, it implies that the source code of reality is written on that 2D surface. And if consciousness plays a role in the quantum world, which many physicists and philosophers believe it does, then your intentions, your focused thoughts, could be the pen that rewrites that source code. You're not just watching the movie, you're helping to direct it. This idea is further explored in the work of physicist David Bohm, who introduced the concept of the implicate order. Bohm envisioned a deeper level of reality where everything is fundamentally interconnected and enfolded. What we see as separate objects and events in our explicate order are just unfolded projections from this deeper, unified whole. Our minds, according to Bohm, are also part of this implicate order, constantly interacting with and influencing the entire system. Author Michael Talbot took this concept mainstream in his 1991 book, The Holographic Universe. Talbot argued that viewing the universe as a giant hologram could explain a wide range of phenomena that conventional science struggles with, such as paranormal experiences, synchronicities, and even out-of-body experiences. He proposed that these might be instances where our consciousness accesses the holographic record directly, momentarily stepping outside the confines of the 3D projection. More recently, in 2022, researcher M.J. Hunt explored the link between holographic duality and the physics of consciousness, proposing a form of dual-aspect theory where mind and matter are seen as two projections of a single underlying informational reality. So how do we put this into practice? Let's start with a simple but powerful exercise. Go stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself in the eyes and say, out loud, "I create my reality." Say it again. Feel the power in those words. Feel it as an undeniable truth vibrating through your body. This isn't just wishful thinking. Studies on self-efficacy, pioneered by psychologist Albert Bandura, have consistently shown that holding positive beliefs about your capabilities significantly increases motivation and improves outcomes. When you believe you can, you're more likely to succeed. But we must be mindful of confirmation bias, the tendency to see only what confirms our beliefs and ignore evidence to the contrary. To create a balanced reality, we must also integrate our shadow self, the parts of us we deny or repress. True creation comes from wholeness, not just from focusing on the light. The connection between mirrors, reflections, and reality is not a new idea. It's an ancient one. Let's travel back in time. Ancient Mesoamerican cultures like the Maya and Aztec viewed polished mirrors not just as reflective surfaces, but as portals, gateways to realms that could be seen but not touched. They used polished obsidian mirrors in sacred rituals, believing they could reflect a person's soul and connect them with the gods. It's almost as if they had an intuitive understanding of the holographic principle, that a flat surface could contain and project a deeper, more profound image. Archaeologists have found these mirrors in tombs in Mexico dating back over 2,000 years, often linked to deities of creation and divination. How did they know? It remains a profound mystery. And it's not just in the Americas. In ancient China, during the Han Dynasty around 2,000 years ago, artisans created what are known as magic mirrors. These bronze mirrors look ordinary on their reflective side, but when a bright light shines on them, they project a hidden image or pattern onto a nearby wall, an image that was cast into the back of the mirror. It's like a form of ancient holography. Some of these mirrors even bear mysterious inscriptions that seem to predict future events, as if they were encoded with information about a projected reality. In ancient Egypt, mirrors were also sacred objects, often made of polished copper and associated with the sun god Ra and the goddess Hathor. They were used in religious ceremonies and believed to hold divine power, symbolizing life and regeneration. They were sometimes aligned with the stars, perhaps as a way to access or channel the universe's holographic fields. This idea of a projected, illusory reality also resonates with the teachings of ancient Gnosticism. The Gnostics taught that the material world was an illusion, a flawed creation, and that true reality existed in a higher, spiritual realm. As explored by researcher J.F. Canova in 2023, there are striking parallels between Gnostic cosmology and modern quantum spirituality, suggesting a lost stream of wisdom about the nature of our projected universe. Similarly, physicist R.L. Weimal in 2014 highlighted the profound similarities between quantum physics and Jungian psychology, both of which point toward a collective, interconnected layer of reality that shapes our individual experience. All of this brings us back to you, right here, right now. Look around you. Look at your life, your relationships, your health, your circumstances. Ask yourself this powerful question: what is my reality reflecting back to me right now? Your current life is the hologram being projected from the source code of your beliefs, thoughts, and deepest feelings. If you don't like the reflection, you now know you have the power to change it. You can access the source code. This is the first pillar, the heresy of creation. The understanding that reality is a quantum mirror and you are its creator. I want you to share your reflection in the comments below. What is one thing your reality is showing you right now? Let's start this conversation and support each other on this incredible journey. Thank you for joining me on the Creative Mind journey. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. We'll be diving into the second pillar, which reveals a dark promise and the key to mastering your emotional guidance system. Until then, keep creating. Hello and welcome back to the Creative Mind Journey channel. You've arrived at part 3 of our series on hacking the reality matrix. Today we're delving into the second pillar, the dark promise. This is about abandoning the need to be seen as good and finally claiming what is rightfully yours. So what does this mean? It means we're going to talk about the shadow. In Jungian psychology, the shadow represents all the parts of ourselves that we've repressed or disowned. The desires, thoughts, and traits we've been taught are unacceptable. The key isn't to get rid of this shadow, but to integrate it. True power, total wholeness, comes from embracing every single part of who you are. Now, this isn't just some abstract idea. Modern psychology is catching up with Jung's wisdom. Several studies, including a major meta-analysis from 2018, have shown that Jungian psychotherapy, which heavily involves shadow integration, is effective in reducing anxiety and promoting personal growth. It's a scientifically recognized path to a more integrated self. Carl Jung himself, in his seminal 1959 work, Awaken, described the shadow as a crucial component of the individuation process, the journey to becoming a whole, complete person. He saw it as the dark side of our psyche, not something evil, but something essential. Think of it this way: you can't have light without shadow. They are two sides of the same coin. Embracing your shadow means acknowledging your capacity for anger, selfishness, and ambition, and then channeling that raw energy constructively. Let me ask you a question. Think about a time you held yourself back because you were worried about what others might think. A time you didn't ask for that raise, didn't pursue that dream, or didn't speak your truth because you wanted to be seen as nice or good. What do you think you could achieve if that fear was gone? What would you claim as your own? This concept isn't new, it's ancient wisdom. Take the ancient Egyptians. They believed the soul had multiple parts, and one of them was the shwat, or the shadow. In tomb paintings, you can see depictions of the deceased's shadow shown as a separate, dark figure. These shadows were considered vital for the journey into the afterlife. Archaeologists have even discovered that some pyramid passages are aligned with stars in ways that seem to suggest rituals of spiritual integration, bringing the self and its shadow together. Why would an entire civilization place so much importance on the shadow in their most sacred rites? It's a profound mystery that points to a deep understanding of the human psyche. Similarly, in many indigenous cultures, shamans undertake vision quests specifically to confront their own inner shadows, or demons. In Amazonian traditions, this is sometimes facilitated by plant medicines, guiding the individual to face their darkest aspects, not to destroy them, but to understand them and gain power and wisdom for healing their tribe. It's a universal theme. True power is found not by running from the dark, but by walking into it and claiming its strength. So how do we do this? How do we integrate our shadow and claim our power? This is where the dark promise comes in. It's a promise you make to yourself. It's about abandoning the desperate need for external approval. It's very similar to the core principles of the law of attraction, where the focus must be entirely on your desire, free from the guilt and shame that holds you back. The first step is a simple but powerful declaration. I want you to say it, and more importantly, feel it. I claim what is mine by right. Feel the energy of that statement. It's not about taking from others, it's about reclaiming the parts of yourself and the life that you have denied yourself out of fear. Feel the confidence and ownership in those words. This isn't just wishful thinking. Science supports this. Numerous studies on visualization and positive self-talk show a direct link to increased self-efficacy and performance. When you vividly imagine yourself succeeding and affirm your right to that success, you are literally rewiring your brain. Psychologists now recognize manifestation principles not as magic, but as powerful tools for focusing attention and motivation. When you attract something, you're really priming your brain to notice opportunities and act on them with confidence. You shift from a passive observer to an active creator of your reality. Critics often label this as pseudoscience, and it's true, saying a phrase won't magically make a car appear in your driveway. That's not the point. The power lies in what this process does to you. It removes the internal blocks. It unleashes your motivation. It gives you the psychological permission to pursue your desires without apology. You stop self-sabotaging and start taking decisive action. This journey into the shadow connects deeply with modern ideas in quantum physics and spirituality. Thinkers are exploring the ontological similarities between Jung's archetypes and the nature of reality at the quantum level. The idea of duality, light and dark, particle and wave, self and shadow, is fundamental. Quantum spirituality suggests that consciousness operates in a state of entangled possibilities. By integrating your shadow, you are collapsing the wave function of your potential into a more powerful, whole, and actualized state of being. You are resolving your inner duality to become a more coherent force in the universe. Let's make this practical. What is one thing you have been denying yourself? A career change? A creative project? A bolder way of living? Identify it. Now feel the fear or guilt associated with it. Acknowledge that shadow. Thank it for trying to protect you, and then with conviction say, I claim this. It is mine by right. This isn't a one-time fix. Shadow work is a lifelong journey of self-discovery. There are incredible resources out there, from books guiding you through the process to powerful integration exercises. It's about being mindful and honest with yourself day by day. It's about looking in that dark mirror, and instead of turning away, you smile and welcome that reflection home. By embracing your shadow, you stop living a fragmented life. You become whole. The energy you once used to suppress parts of yourself is now liberated, available for you to create, to achieve, and to manifest the reality you truly desire. This is the dark promise. It's not a promise of darkness, but a promise of wholeness found through the darkness. So I ask you again, what do you claim today? Let me know in the comments below. Take that first step. Next week in part 4, we will explore reality injection, where we will get into the specific, actionable techniques to imprint your desires onto the fabric of reality. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to the Creative Mind Journey channel for more content on hacking your reality. Until next time, claim your power. Welcome back to the Creative Mind Journey channel, where we explore the quantum mechanics of your mind. In part 4 of our Hack the Reality Matrix series, we're diving into the third and most powerful pillar, reality injection. This is where we learn to insert our desires directly into the fabric of the universe. So what is the third pillar? It's the art of reality injection, and our tool is the decree of accomplished fact. It's a simple yet profound shift in language and perception. Instead of saying, I want to receive, you declare, I remember when I received. For example, don't say, I want a new job. Instead say, I remember when I received that amazing job offer. This creates what we can call a temporal paradox. You're speaking from a future where your desire is already a memory, a completed event. By doing this, you're not just wishing, you're implanting a new memory into your timeline, commanding reality to align with this accomplished fact. But how do we make this decree truly effective? We need a portal, a direct access point to the operating system of the universe. This portal is a specific state of consciousness known as hypnagogia. Hypnagogia is that magical, fleeting state between full wakefulness and sleep. It's the moment your mind starts to drift, images flash, and logic loosens its grip. Modern science is finally catching up to what ancient mystics knew all along. A 2021 study by Lacan and his team identified this transitional sleep phase as a sweet spot for creativity. A time when profound insights effortlessly emerge. Think of it as the moment your conscious mind, the gatekeeper, dozes off, allowing you to communicate directly with your subconscious and the deeper universal field. Researcher Adam Har Horowitz, in his work with the MIT Media Lab, has demonstrated this repeatedly. His studies in 2023 on targeted dream incubation showed that by focusing on a problem during the onset of sleep, participants dramatically boosted their creative performance and problem-solving abilities upon waking. In 2022, he confirmed that we are at our most creative right before we fall asleep, calling the N1 sleep phase a creative hotspot. This isn't just a modern discovery. Artists and thinkers have intuitively used this state for centuries. Salvador Dalí famously used hypnagogic hallucinations to fuel his surrealist masterpieces. His technique was simple. He'd sit in a chair, holding a heavy key over a metal plate on the floor. As he drifted into the hypnagogic state, his muscles would relax, the key would drop, and the clatter would jolt him awake, allowing him to capture the bizarre and brilliant images from the borderland of sleep. Charles Dickens also tapped into this realm, often depicting his characters in dreamlike states to explore complex psychological insights and drive his narratives forward. So what is happening in this state that gives it so much power? One fascinating theory connects hypnagogia to the zero-point field. In physics, the zero-point field is the lowest possible energy state that a quantum mechanical system can have. It's not empty. It's a seething cauldron of fluctuating energy from which particles can pop in and out of existence. The Casimir effect, confirmed in 1997 by Steve Lamoureux, provided physical proof of this field by measuring a real, tangible force between two uncharged plates in a vacuum, a force generated by the quantum fluctuations of the zero-point field itself. Thinkers like R.L.P. Weimel proposed that this field isn't just a physical phenomenon. It could be the very origin of consciousness. In a 2025 paper, he theorizes that consciousness originates from this universal field, and in 2023 he described it as a vibrant source for both matter and consciousness. This suggests that when our brains enter certain states, like the deep relaxation of hypnagogia, we might be tuning into this fundamental creative field. Weimel-ES work from 2016 even proposes that the fusion of our individual consciousness with the zero-point field is a universal mechanism for heightened awareness and restoration. Now, it is important to note that claims about extracting usable energy from the zero-point field are highly controversial and often considered pseudoscience, as they appear to violate the laws of thermodynamics. However, we're not talking about building a perpetual motion machine. We're talking about accessing a field of pure information and potential. The idea is that in the hypnagogic state, your mind's frequency aligns with this universal field, allowing you to inject your new reality, your accomplished fact, directly into the source code of the universe. This practice isn't new, it has echoes in ancient traditions. The ancient Greeks practiced dream incubation in the temples of Asclepius, the god of healing. People would sleep on sacred beds in sanctuaries like the one in Epidaurus, built around 400 BC, seeking divine visions, prophecies, and cures for their ailments. The mystery remains. How did they so reliably induce these potent hypnagogic states without modern techniques? Similarly, the ancient Egyptians practiced temple sleep to receive guidance from the gods. They understood that the boundary between wakefulness and sleep was a sacred space. These practices hint at a deep intuitive understanding of consciousness, just as the Gnostics saw time as an illusion and Hindu philosophy speaks of eternal cycles. These traditions suggest that our linear perception of time can be bent. While there's no scientific proof for temporal anomalies like time travel, quantum physics is beginning to challenge our classical understanding. Research from scientists like Atasoy in 2024 is exploring manifestation as a quantum process, where the observer's focus and intention can directly influence the outcome of reality. So how can you practice this yourself? It's simple. Tonight, as you lie down to sleep, get comfortable and allow your body to relax completely. Let go of the day's tensions. Now, instead of just thinking about your desire, bring it to mind as if it has already happened. Use the decree of accomplished fact. Let's try a guided practice right now. Take a deep breath and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Imagine you're lying in your bed on the cusp of sleep. Let your body feel heavy and relaxed. Now, think of something you deeply desire. Let's say it's a feeling of complete financial freedom. Don't say, "I wish I had money." Instead, gently and calmly say to yourself, "I remember when my financial worries just disappeared. I remember the feeling of relief and freedom when I saw my bank account full." Feel the emotion of that memory. What did it feel like? Relief? Joy? Peace? Live in that feeling for a moment. See the scene in your mind's eye. Don't force it. Just gently hold the image and the feeling as you drift. As you enter that hypnagogic space where thoughts become fluid and dreamlike, your decree is being planted in the most fertile ground possible, the zero-point field of infinite potential. If you fall asleep, that's perfect. Your subconscious mind will continue the work. If you drift back to wakefulness, just gently guide your mind back to your memory of the accomplished fact. This isn't about mental effort. It's about gentle, relaxed focus. You are using a scientifically recognized creative state to access a theoretical field of universal consciousness and implant a new reality using a specific linguistic command. You are hacking the matrix. So my question to you is, what temporal anomaly will you create tonight? What accomplished fact will you declare? Share your intentions in the comments below. Let's create a collective field of positive manifestation. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey into the mind. If this exploration resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe to the Creative Mind Journey channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep creating, and remember when all your dreams came true. Welcome back to our journey, reality hackers. This is part 5, where we unlock the final pillar of reality creation, power escalation. Are you ready to become a particle accelerator for your own universe? Let's dive deep into the quantum code that manifests your dreams right now. Today, we're building on everything we've learned. We've laid the foundation, and now it's time to amplify our power. Think of it like this. If the first 4 pillars built the engine, today we're adding the supercharger. We're going to escalate our energy, our intention, and our ability to shape reality. This is where you transform from a passive dreamer into an active creator, a true architect of your existence. The biggest obstacle at this stage? Doubt. That sneaky little voice that whispers, "This is too good to be true," or "This can't really work." Doubt is the friction that slows down your manifestation. It's a residual echo from an old, expired program of limitation. It's not you, it's just noise. So how do we deal with this doubt? We don't fight it. We don't fear it. We look it right in the eye and say, "I see you. I acknowledge you. But you are just an echo. Your program has expired." By observing it without judgment, you rob it of its power. You become the calm center of the storm, the quantum observer who doesn't get pulled into the chaos. This brings us to a crucial concept, the observer effect in quantum mechanics. Now, you've probably heard that observing something changes it. In science, this is often explained as the act of physical measurement, the interaction of a tool with a particle that collapses its wave function of possibilities into a single reality. For instance, studies like one by Baki and Martin back in 2004 analyzed how physical measurement in quantum experiments causes this collapse. However, a fascinating and more recent line of inquiry explores the role of consciousness itself. Could our awareness be the ultimate measurement tool? Researchers like Weimal in ongoing work are exploring this very conjecture that quantum processes in the brain might actually create our conscious experience. This isn't just philosophy, it's a frontier of experimental science. Think about it. What if your focused intention acts like the most sophisticated measuring device in the universe? What if your consciousness, as Hunt reinterpreted it in 2019, operates as a quantum field directly interacting with the fabric of reality? This is the core of the quantum manifestation hypothesis, a theory explored by thinkers like Adasoi. It suggests that our intentions can and do influence quantum processes. Now, it's important to be intellectually honest. These ideas are on the cutting edge and face criticism. Some label them pseudoscience because results haven't been consistently replicated in controlled lab settings. And yes, many in the mainstream scientific community are skeptical of applying these quantum principles to our macro world. But on the other hand, we have the well-established science of self-efficacy. Pioneered by psychologist Albert Bandura in 1986, self-efficacy is your belief in your own ability to succeed. It's a cornerstone of behavioral change. Bandura showed that mastery experiences, succeeding at small steps, are key to building this powerful belief. And the evidence is overwhelming. In countless studies, especially in health psychology, higher self-efficacy predicts stronger intentions and better outcomes. So while we may not be directly collapsing wave functions with a thought, our beliefs powerfully shape our actions, and our actions create our reality. Visualization, a key practice in manifestation, is scientifically proven to increase self-efficacy. This is where ancient wisdom and modern science meet. We are going to become particle accelerators for our universe. But what does that even mean? Let's look to the past for clues. The ancient European alchemists were the original reality hackers. Their quest to transmute lead into gold wasn't just about wealth, it was a profound symbol for spiritual elevation. It was about power escalation, transforming the dense and heavy into the light and valuable. It's a mystery how they achieved what they did, but recent archaeology is uncovering medieval laboratories filled with primitive furnaces and strange fusion tools. These weren't just ovens. They were early particle accelerators designed to induce atomic collisions through intense heat and pressure. They were physically trying to accelerate particles to create a new reality. We can do the same, but on an energetic level. We accelerate our internal state. We stoke the furnace of our heart with high-frequency emotions. Think of the Siberian shamans. For centuries, they've used the rhythmic beat of a drum to accelerate their consciousness, to move like a particle through different dimensions on their spiritual journeys. The drum beat is the catalyst, the accelerator. Your catalyst is your emotion. When you want to escalate your power, you can't be in a state of boredom or frustration. You need to access a state of intense positive energy. This is your personal particle accelerator. Close your eyes and feel it now. Don't just think about gratitude, feel it radiate from your chest. Don't just think about excitement, let it buzz through your entire body. This is the fuel for your manifestation engine. Just as the alchemists faced impurities in their metals, we face our inner doubt. The ancient Egyptians had powerful rituals for this. In the rites of Horus, they would invoke specific deities to grant them the divine strength to overcome their inner enemies, their doubts and fears. They understood that to create, you must first be unwavering. The Gnostics, too, fought a constant battle with inner doubt, which they saw as a trick of a false reality. They developed what they called light protocols, meditative practices to connect with a true divine source of wisdom and burn away the shadows of uncertainty. Modern research, like Canova's work linking Gnosticism to quantum concepts, shows how this ancient wisdom holds profound insights for us today on mastering our power. So how do we put this all together? You've acknowledged your doubt, you've recognized it as an old program. Now you escalate your power to overwrite it. You become the particle accelerator. You flood your system with the high-energy fuel of positive emotion, joy, excitement, passion, and curiosity. Don't just feel it lightly. Amplify it. Turn up the volume until it's the only signal you can hear. This amplified state is what seals the deal. It's the final step in our process. Once you've set your intention and accelerated your energy, you seal it with three powerful forces: gratitude, peace, and trust. First, gratitude. Be profoundly thankful for the reality you are calling in, as if it's already here. Feel the relief and joy of its arrival. This gratitude is a magnetic frequency that pulls your desire from the quantum field into your experience. Second, peace. Release all attachment to the outcome. Be at peace with the process. This isn't passivity, it's a state of profound knowing. When you've ordered something online, you don't worry every second if it's coming. You're at peace, knowing it's on its way. Apply that same peace to your manifestations. And finally, trust. Trust the universe, trust the process, trust yourself. This is the ultimate seal. It's the final click that locks your intention into the matrix of reality. It's the unwavering faith that what you have set in motion is now unfolding perfectly. This is the fifth pillar, power escalation. First, you deal with doubt by observing it and labeling it as an expired echo. Say, I see you, you are an echo, your program has expired. Then you act as the quantum observer, understanding that your focused emotion is the catalyst. You become a particle accelerator for your universe by intentionally amplifying feelings of joy, passion, and excitement. Finally, you seal your new reality with the sacred trinity of gratitude, peace, and trust. This completes the 5 pillars of the divine quantum code. You now have the full system to consciously hack your reality. Practice this. Make it a daily ritual. The more you use these tools, the more powerful you become, and the faster your dreams will manifest. I have a question for you. What is your primary method for handling doubt when it arises? Share your techniques in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. If this series has opened your mind and empowered you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. You are powerful. You are a creator. Go build the world of your dreams. Hello and welcome back to the Creative Mind Journey channel. Today we delve into part 6 of our series, Hack the Reality Matrix. We're about to explore the 6th and final pillar, fulfillment of the contract. This is where we learn to activate our quantum consciousness and tap into the limitless potential of the zero-point field. Ready to manifest your dreams? Let's begin. So what exactly is quantum consciousness, and how do we access the zero-point field? The simplest answer is through practices like meditation and deep intentional connection. But let's look at the science behind this. For decades, researchers have been exploring theories that link the mysterious world of quantum mechanics to the equally mysterious nature of human consciousness. One of the most famous is the orchestrated objective reduction, or Orch OR theory, proposed by Sir Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff. It suggests that consciousness arises from quantum vibrations happening within the microtubules of our brain's neurons. This might sound like science fiction, but the evidence is mounting. In 2014, a research team led by Anirban Bandyopadhyay at Japan's National Institute for Materials Science found compelling evidence confirming these quantum vibrations within microtubules. The implications are staggering. It suggests the very foundation of our conscious experience could be rooted in the quantum realm, and the discoveries don't stop there. Fast forward to 2025, and a groundbreaking study emerges suggesting evidence of quantum entanglement within the myelin sheaths of our nerves. This research proposes that entanglement between the nuclear spins of phosphorus atoms, acting as biological putrets, could generate consciousness. Amazingly, these quantum states seem to retain their coherence long enough for complex quantum processes to occur right inside our brains. Direct MRI scans have even shown what appears to be a macro-scale quantum state directly related to human consciousness. This isn't just theory anymore, it's observable phenomena. A leading voice in this field is researcher R.P. Vimal. Over the past few years, Vimal has proposed a comprehensive quantum consciousness theory based on new interpretations of existing data. In 2024, Vimal outlined an experimental program designed to test how quantum processes might create our subjective conscious experience, aiming to solve the long-standing hard problem of consciousness. This builds on his earlier work, including a self-consistent electromagnetic field theory for consciousness from 2021. The central idea is that consciousness isn't just a byproduct of the brain, but a fundamental quantum field. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that these ideas are not without their critics. Physicist Jack Sarfati, while a proponent of post-quantum mechanics, has his own unique take, and physicist Max Tegmark famously argued in 2000 that the brain is too warm, wet, and noisy an environment for delicate quantum states to survive a problem known as rapid decoherence. He labeled many of these concepts as pseudoscience. In response, Vimal and others are pushing for a new paradigm in quantum consciousness research, seeking to overcome these objections and build a more robust model. This brings us to the second key concept, the zero-point field. What is it? In simple terms, the zero-point field, or ZPF, is the lowest possible energy that a quantum system can have. It's not zero, it's a sea of fluctuating energy and virtual particles that permeates all of space. Its existence was proven by the Casimir effect, where two uncharged plates in a vacuum are mysteriously pushed together by an unseen force. More recently, in 2025, scientists were able to directly measure the motion of the zero-point field in correlated atoms, observing its effects at the lowest possible quantum state. R.P. Vimal has extensively linked the ZPF to consciousness. In 2021, he described the ZPF as a dual aspect of the cosmos, a source for both matter and mind. By 2025, he proposed that consciousness itself might originate from this field, suggesting the entire universe arose from a state of zero-net energy with the ZPF as the supreme underlying reality. He views the ZPF as the central, vibrant source from which everything, including our conscious awareness, emerges. According to Vimal's 2016 work, consciousness is a fusion with this zero-point reality, a universal mechanism for awareness. He even suggests that the brain state associated with tapping into the zero-point field is the most restorative and healing state we can experience. It's a subtle medium that holds the energetic vibrations of all information, past, present, and future. Now, could we harness this energy? In 2025, a prototype claiming to harvest 30 kilowatts of zero-point energy was announced, supposedly scalable and based on a unified theory. However, mainstream physics is highly skeptical. Many critics argue that extracting useful energy from the ZPF is impossible according to the laws of thermodynamics, and they label such attempts as pseudoscience. The debate is fierce, but the exploration continues. So how do we apply this in our lives? It begins with practice. It's about feeling the connection, cultivating curiosity, and understanding that these modern scientific concepts echo ancient wisdom. Think of the ancient Tibetan monks who meditated for months in isolated, pitch-black caves. They sought to access a universal energy source, what we might now call the zero-point field. Himalayan monasteries, some thousands of years old, have special chambers built specifically to help practitioners achieve these deep states. The mystery is how they maintained such focus and achieved profound insights without any modern technology. Look at the ancient Egyptians. They aligned the Great Pyramids with celestial bodies, not just as tombs, but potentially as energetic structures designed to elevate consciousness and connect it to the cosmos. Consider African shamanic traditions, where practitioners enter trance states to invoke the wisdom of their ancestors, a practice that bears a striking resemblance to the concept of quantum entanglement, accessing information non-locally across time and space. And this brings us back to the sixth pillar, fulfilling the contract. The Gnostics, ancient mystics, believed we have a divine contract, a purpose to fulfill that allows for our spiritual ascension. Modern research is even drawing parallels between Gnostic cosmology and quantum physics. Fulfilling your contract is about aligning your personal energy with the universal energy of the zero-point field. It is about realizing that you are not separate from the cosmos, but a vital part of it. What is your unique contract with the universe? What purpose are you here to fulfill? Take a moment to reflect on that. This isn't just a philosophical question. It's the key to unlocking your manifestation abilities. By aligning with your purpose, you harmonize your personal frequency with the infinite potential of the zero-point field. Let's try a short guided meditation to connect with this energy. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and slowly release it. Feel your body relax. Now, imagine a vast, dark space all around you. It's not empty, it's humming with a silent, powerful energy. This is the zero-point field. Visualize tiny points of light flickering in and out of existence everywhere. This is the energy that creates worlds. Feel this energy gently flowing into you, through you. You are a part of this infinite field. Now, bring to mind a dream, a goal, something you deeply desire to manifest. Hold that vision in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions of having already achieved it, the joy, the gratitude, the peace. As you hold this feeling, imagine you are broadcasting it like a signal into the zero-point field. See the field responding, the particles of potential beginning to organize and coalesce around your intention. Know that the universe is conspiring to bring your vision into reality. You are fulfilling your contract by becoming a conscious creator. Stay with this feeling for a few moments. When you're ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the room. Take another deep breath and open your eyes. This simple practice, when done consistently, aligns your consciousness with the creative force of the universe. We've journeyed through the science, the history, and the practice. From quantum vibrations in our brains to the infinite energy of the zero-point field, we see that the line between spirituality and science is blurring. The sixth pillar, fulfillment of the contract, is the culmination of this journey. It asks about living in alignment with your deepest truth and using your focused intention to co-create your reality with the universe itself. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through the 6 pillars of reality. This is not the end, but a new beginning. I encourage you to explore these concepts further and, most importantly, to put them into practice. If this series has inspired you, please like this video, share it with others who are on their own creative mind journey, and subscribe to the channel for more content that bridges science, spirituality, and manifestation. Your support helps us continue this exploration. Thank you for watching. Hello, explorer of cosmic secrets, and welcome back to our journey into the creative mind. This is part 7 of our Hack the Reality Matrix series, and today we're unveiling the 6th and final pillar of reality, contract fulfillment. Get ready to activate your quantum consciousness and tap into the boundless potential of the zero-point field. So what is this quantum consciousness? It's the revolutionary idea that our very awareness is not just a byproduct of brain chemistry, but is fundamentally rooted in the strange and wonderful laws of quantum mechanics. Think about it. Our brains, at their most basic level, are collections of particles. Why wouldn't they be subject to the same quantum rules that govern the rest of the universe? One of the most famous theories is called orchestrated objective reduction, or Orch OR, proposed by Sir Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff. They suggest that consciousness arises from quantum vibrations within tiny structures inside our brain's neurons, called microtubules. This isn't just a wild guess. Back in 2014, a research team led by Anirban Bandyopadhyay at the National Institute for Materials Science in Japan discovered warm temperature quantum vibrations inside these very microtubules, lending powerful support to the theory. The evidence keeps mounting. A groundbreaking 2025 study suggests that quantum entanglement, that spooky connection between particles Einstein talked about, might be happening right inside our brains, specifically within the myelin sheaths that insulate our neurons. This study proposes that the nuclear spins of phosphorus atoms act as biological quartets, a more complex version of a quantum bit, and can stay linked long enough for complex quantum processing to occur. Imagine that. Your thoughts could be powered by entanglement. Direct MRI evidence is even starting to reveal a macro-quantum state in the brain directly linked to our conscious experience. Researchers like R.P. Vimal have been pivotal in this field. In 2025, he proposed a comprehensive quantum theory of consciousness, building upon new interpretations of quantum phenomena. He's even developed experimental programs to test how these quantum processes might create our subjective experience. Vimal argues that quantum mechanics holds the key to finally resolving the age-old enigma of human consciousness. His work explores everything from self-consistent electromagnetic field theories of consciousness to the idea that consciousness itself is a quantum field. Of course, this frontier of science has its critics. Physicist Max Tegmark, for instance, argued back in 2000 that the warm, wet environment of the brain would cause any delicate quantum state to collapse almost instantly, a process called decoherence. He labeled many of these ideas as pseudoscience. However, the new evidence about long-lasting coherence in biological systems challenges these older criticisms, pushing scientists to seek a new paradigm for understanding consciousness. Now, let's connect this to the zero-point field. What is it? Imagine you cool something down to absolute zero, the coldest temperature possible. You'd think all motion would stop, right? Wrong. Quantum mechanics tells us there's a minimum non-zero energy that always remains. This is the zero-point energy, the underlying energy of the vacuum of space itself. It's not just a theory, it's been proven. The Casimir effect, a subtle attractive force between two uncharged plates in a vacuum, is direct evidence of this field. And just this year, in 2025, scientists were able to directly measure the zero-point motion of correlated atoms within molecules. So how does this relate to us? Weimel proposes that the zero-point field isn't just background noise, it's the dual aspect of the cosmos, the vibrant source from which both matter and consciousness arise. He suggests that our consciousness may have its origin in this fundamental field, and that accessing it could be profoundly restorative. Think of it as a universal, subtle medium that holds the energetic vibrations of everything. In this view, our brains are like antennas, capable of tuning into this cosmic field. This sounds like science fiction, but the implications are staggering. A 2025 prototype claimed to be able to harvest 30 kilowatts of this zero-point energy. While mainstream physics argues that extracting net energy from the vacuum is impossible and labels such claims as pseudoscience, the very idea opens up a universe of possibilities. Let's pause the science for a moment and look at ancient wisdom. For thousands of years, mystics and sages have described experiences that sound remarkably like tapping into this universal field. Ancient Tibetan monks meditated in isolated, high-altitude caves, seeking to access a form of cosmic energy. Himalayan monasteries, some over 1,000 years old, contain special chambers designed for inducing deep meditative states. How did they achieve such profound focus and connection without our modern technology? Look at the ancient Egyptians, who precisely aligned their pyramids with celestial bodies. Many believe this wasn't just for burial, but was a technology to elevate consciousness and connect with the cosmos. African shamans enter trance states to invoke the wisdom of their ancestors, a practice that echoes the quantum concept of entanglement across time and space. The ancient Gnostics spoke of fulfilling a divine contract with the cosmos to achieve spiritual ascension, a concept that modern authors are now linking to quantum spirituality. So the central question becomes, what is your contract with the universe? What unique purpose are you here to fulfill? This isn't just a philosophical question. The sixth pillar, contract fulfillment, is about actively aligning your conscious intent with this universal field of potential. Let's try a short, practical exercise to feel this connection. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in and out. Bring your awareness to the space around you. Don't just think about it. Feel it. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the subtle energy in the room. Now, expand that awareness beyond the room, beyond the building, out into the world. Imagine your consciousness gently merging with the space around you. Feel the subtle vibration, the hum of existence that's always there, just beneath the surface of our normal perception. This is your first step in connecting to the field. As you practice this, you cultivate a sense of curiosity and wonder. You begin to see the world not as a collection of separate objects, but as an interconnected, vibrant web of energy and information. You're not just in the universe, you are the universe experiencing itself. By meditating, by aligning your intentions, and by fulfilling your unique purpose, you are actively participating in the creation of reality. You are honoring your contract. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. This concludes our series on hacking the reality matrix. I hope these pillars have given you a new map to navigate your own reality and manifest your dreams. If you found this exploration valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to the Creative Mind Journey channel. Until next time, keep exploring. Welcome back, Creator Minds, to our journey of transformation. We've arrived at the final, most powerful part of our series, the seventh pillar of reality. Get ready to integrate everything we've learned, create a singularity in your own life, and command your future. This is where time collapses and you step into your true power. So what exactly is this seventh pillar? It's singularity and future command. It's the ultimate convergence point, the moment where all possibilities collapse into the one reality you choose. It's about bringing together the spiritual wisdom we've explored with the cutting edge of scientific thought. Let's start with a concept that might sound like science fiction but is being debated by the world's top physicists and philosophers, the simulation hypothesis. Back in 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed a mind-bending idea. He argued there's a high probability we are living in a sophisticated computer simulation created by a post-human civilization running ancestor simulations to study their past. Think about it. If any civilization ever reaches a stage where they can create such realistic simulations, they would likely create billions of them Statistically, that makes it far more likely that we are in one of those simulations than in the one base reality. This isn't just a fringe theory, it's a serious academic debate. Fast forward to today. In 2024, philosopher David Chalmers argued we should take this hypothesis seriously, not as a reason for skepticism, but as a genuine possibility about the nature of our world. He suggests that even if we are in a simulation, our beliefs about our reality can still be true within that simulated framework. However, not everyone agrees. In that same year, philosopher J. Bryan Park argued the theory might be self-defeating, suggesting that if our reality isn't fundamental, then the logic we use to deduce we're in a simulation might also be part of that non-fundamental reality, creating a paradox. Meanwhile, physicist Tim Carter warned of an epistemological crisis, a point where the possibility of being simulated forces us to reconsider everything we think we know for certain. The debate intensified as advanced AI became a reality. Bostrom himself updated his thoughts, acknowledging that sophisticated AI could indeed be the architects of these simulated realities, making the hypothesis even more plausible in our modern context. And here's where it gets really interesting for us. Visionary thinkers like Bernardo Kastrup interpret the universe not as a computer simulation, but as a form of self-simulation within a universal consciousness, a concept that resonates deeply with quantum principles. Of course, there are strong counter-arguments. Physicist Sabine Hossenfelder in 2022 famously criticized the simulation hypothesis as unfalsifiable. She argues that since we can't design an experiment to prove or disprove it, it falls outside the realm of science and into pure speculation. Any supposed glitches in the matrix or temporal anomalies are just that, speculation with no hard evidence, and yet the very fabric of physics hints at a flexible reality. Einstein's theory of relativity, for instance, describes time not as a constant, but as an illusion, a dimension interwoven with space that can be stretched and bent. This is where we practice science-informed spirituality. We use these groundbreaking scientific ideas not to find definitive proof, but to expand our understanding of what's possible. It's crucial, however, to avoid confirmation bias, the tendency to only accept information that confirms our existing beliefs. Many studies on spiritual practices show that this bias can reinforce illusions, trapping us in a comfortable but limited worldview. True growth comes from embracing the questions, the debates, and the mysteries. Interestingly, the concept of a singularity, a collapse of time, and a radical new beginning isn't new at all. The ancient Mayans, with their incredibly precise cyclic calendars, predicted such events. They saw the end of their calendar cycles not as an apocalypse, but as the collapse of an old era to make way for a new one. Here's a mystery. How did they calculate these vast cosmic cycles with such precision thousands of years ago without any computers? Archaeological discoveries in Mexico have unearthed stone inscriptions from 2,000 years ago that map out these celestial movements, leaving us to wonder about the source of their profound knowledge. This idea of commanding the future is a thread woven through many ancient cultures. The ancient Egyptians didn't just build pyramids as tombs, they saw them as eternal structures, a way to command a future in the afterlife, a testament to their mastery over eternity. Look at Norse mythology and the story of Ragnarok. It wasn't just a tale of cosmic destruction, it was a story of a cyclical collapse followed by a rebirth, a new world rising from the ashes of the old. Even ancient Gnostic traditions, as scholar Simone Canova pointed out in 2023, viewed the material world as an illusory prison, a kind of simulation from which one must awaken. These ancient ideas are now finding echoes in modern quantum physics. Researchers like Weimel in 2025 are developing quantum models that integrate consciousness directly into the equations, suggesting that our awareness plays a fundamental role in shaping reality. Consciousness isn't just a passenger, it's the pilot. This is the heart of creating your personal singularity. So how do we do it? How do we integrate these 6 pillars, awareness, intention, emotion, belief, action, and surrender, to create this 7th pillar, this singularity event in our lives? It is about creating a moment of such focused coherence that the past and future dissolve into a single point of pure potential. Now you align your conscious awareness, your focused intention, your elevated emotion, your unwavering belief, and your inspired action, and then you surrender to the outcome. This is the practice of future command. You don't hope for the future, you command it into being from a state of gratitude as if it has already happened. You feel the joy of your dream fulfilled, you see it with the clarity of a memory, and you embody the person who is already living that reality. In this state of singularity, the quantum field has no choice but to collapse possibility into the reality that matches your frequency. You're not just a participant in reality, you are its master architect. We've journeyed through the 7 pillars of creation. You now hold the divine quantum code to manifest your dreams. You are the master of your mind, the creator of your world. Remember this journey, revisit these pillars, and practice them daily. This isn't just information, it's a manual for a new life. Now I have a question for you. What is the one future you will command into existence starting today? What dream will you create your singularity around? Share your future command in the comments below. Let's inspire each other. It has been a profound honor to guide you through this journey. Thank you for investing your time and energy with us here on the Creative Mind Journey channel. If this series has changed your perspective, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Your reality is waiting for your command. We'll see you in the next video.